Now let me ask you something. What if litigation is not about justice, not about truth, but about who still has enough strength left in round 12? What if the case you are fighting is just a boxing match without an audience? Imagine this. You've been in a court case for 3.5 years. Your lawyer tells you, we are nearly there, just a few more months. Sounds hopeful, right? But in reality, this is round 10 of a 12-round fight. You are exhausted. Your legs feel like lead. But you can't stop now. Every move you make, a claim, a defense, a cross-claim, feels like another punch through with whatever strength you have left. At the same time, you are trying to conserve energy, because your stamina and your money are both running out. You remember starting with a reasonable budget. Now, you are counting every dollar and trying to ensure every move counts, because deep down, you are not sure you will survive until the end. Sometimes you feel unfair when you saw your opponent who has a deep pocket. They arrive fresh, well-founded, prepared, like someone stepping out of business class from airport and heading directly to the court, while you are squeezing onto a delayed train. You start thinking, this isn't fair to me, and how can I make them suffer? You sometimes regret the early rounds, all that money spent on preliminary discovery that led nowhere, and strategies that didn't land a single hit, thousands of dollars gone. And now, you desperately need every last cent just to stay in the fight. You look at your opponent. They are injured too. Face bruised, eyebrow cracked, body exhausted. But at this point, you don't even remember who provoked the fight. It doesn't matter anymore, which is no longer important, as all it matters is how it would end. You observe that the time, effort, and money spent on this case has worn you down. You feel that nearly a decade has passed, and now you are much older, more sophisticated, and find it harder to trust anyone, including the judge or referee. You look at the referee, who is busy, procedural, controlled for administering the game, and then it hits you. They are not deciding the outcome. Just like a court registrar who you met every month, trying to leave some good impressions. But the real decision, that's made by someone else, someone you've never met, the judge. Like those silent figures in the dark, scoring every round, watching everything, but saying nothing until the end. Round 10 ends. You collapse onto your stool, breathing like a fish out of water, your legs cramping. And ahead of you, the final 2 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes. That appears to be the longest journey that you have ever experienced. In the world of litigation, all paperwork has been done at that stage, and you are about to commence the 3 to 6 days hearing, the final stretch. Everything you've saved, energy, money, arguments, gets spent there. Hundreds of exhibits, thousands of dollars. You are on your last legs, but cannot stop working. No holding back, no retreat. Some fights end earlier. For example, settlement, bankruptcy, liquidation, receivership, administration, even death. But not yours. You and your opponent, you refuse to quit. You refuse to compromise. You keep standing up again and again, so the fight goes the distance. And now, it will be decided on points. And here's the worst part, waiting. Waiting becomes just as painful as fighting. You can't eat properly, sleep properly, think clearly. You are constantly concentrated and stressed, always alert. You've watched legal dramas. You are entertained at the time and imagine how you would do better if you were the main character. You thought you understood the word. Now, you are inside it, embracing the fist coming from the other side. And it's nothing like you imagined before. You look around and wonder, where's the crowd? Where are the cheers? Where's the recognition? There's none. Your witnesses, they are not audience, despite they answered the call to appear. But in most cases, they don't want to be there. They leave as soon as they can and after finishing giving their evidence. Your family, they are not spectators. They are just your corner team. Sometimes you rely on them to stop your nose from bleeding or pressing a wet sponge on your body to cool it down. They hold you together and keep you going. Your lawyers, they are like your coaches, strategizing for your game, analyzing your opponent's strengths, developing the plan for each round, and providing technical guidance from time to time. Your coaches are smart and commissioned to do whatever they can to help you win the match. They will guide you, but they will not fight the opponent for you. It's ultimately your fight, and not theirs, even though you might have paid them heavily for this game. You may fire your coach, or may soon find another job or another player to coach. Besides, they are bound by their rules and ethical codes, so you cannot expect them to win the game for you at whatever cost. Only you can unconditionally fight for yourself. Round 11 ends, you are completely drained. You sit down immediately on the stool in your corner. Lying back with outstretched legs, you are aghast. Here's the last round, and you know it's nearly finished. Both you and your opponent have been intensively cross-examined in the last round. On a few occasions, you were punched straight in the face, groped bluntly for the ropes to maintain the balance. But you survived, and so did your opponent. Pressed, hit, disoriented, but still standing. Waiting for the bell of the last round, you could not stop asking yourself, did I do enough? Was it enough? You don't know. And that uncertainty, it eats at you. You sometimes feel everything is so surreal until you touch the cold bench and see the volumes of files on your witness table. They remind you of the sleepless nights of preparation and work to be finished. You stand there on trembling legs and you start to hear the final submissions and discussions among the judges and legal representatives. Legal language that sounds familiar but feels distant. You understand the words, but not what they mean together. Then silence, and the waiting again begins for the judgment. Weeks, months, or even over a year. Finally, you win. Relief, validation, mixture of different feelings. You go home, but then a notice arrives. Your opponent is appealing. Because in litigation, winning once doesn't always end the fight. You might have to do it all over again. You have to keep fighting. Just like people who are defending their gold championship belts tend to have games of trilogies. You have no choice but to strike back again, until enforcement, until surrender. And strangely, if your fight is entertaining and significant enough, it becomes a precedent, studied, quoted, taught in law schools. Intentionally or unintentionally, you mark your footsteps in the history. Your story becomes a part of legal textbook, whether you like it or not. One question people commonly ask is whether those people who fight all the time will become the best fighters. Will you be better if you keep fighting? The answer is both yes and no. Throughout the hearings, you will have a better understanding of rules, what to expect, and how to manage your risks. At the same time, you will also carry scars, and you are defined by what you have experienced. Like a prize fighter, it could be broken nose, it could be swollen cauliflower ears, it could be shapeless lips, or it could be smashed and battered knuckles. Litigation changes you, mentally, emotionally, sometimes permanently. And here's the truth, experience doesn't guarantee victory, because the outcome depends on your opponent, the circumstances, and any moment in the fight, not just you. Just like Jack London said, a man had only so many fights in him. Some have 100, some have 20, but everyone has a limit. So let me ask you, is litigation really just about how to win? Or is it about how to endure more pain and last longer? And if you had the choice, would you still step into the ring?